If you're hurting someone, listen to this, the silent lesson of Miyamoto Musashi. The void of being ignored. Why someone's silence can hurt more than rejection. Close your eyes for a moment and sense the emptiness left by someone's absence. When someone withdraws, our brain interprets it as a threat, an attack on belonging and survival. But the real pain doesn't come from them. It echoes from within, a deep return to parts of yourself you lost. That silence doesn't just push them away. It mirrors something missing inside your heart. Your body listens to every whisper your soul sighs. Our nervous system reacts as if danger looms. Heart racing, thoughts racing, desperate to fill the gap. Yet what stings isn't the lack of their voice. It's the revelation of our own hidden void. It's like pounding at a locked door, demanding answers from a place we've long ignored. That ache is rooted in the fracture of our identity, not merely their departure. You are not broken, you are in transformation. Understanding that silence is a mirror of your soul's longing can shift everything. It invites a question. Where within you have you been silent? Maybe you stopped honoring needs, dreams, or darker feelings afraid to face yourself. That echo inside may be begging for your attention far more than theirs ever did. The first step toward wholeness is to meet that empty space with compassion. Neurobiology shows that rejection signals activate the same brain regions as physical pain. But while we can numb a scrape, silencing our inner anguish demands tenderness. Dr. Bruce Lipton teaches that our biology responds to our beliefs, not just circumstances. Our belief that silence equals abandonment becomes a cellular truth. By shifting that belief, you begin dissolving the pain at its source. So I invite you, breathe into that void and ask, what is this silence calling me to feel? No need to fix it, judge it, or chase reasons, just feel. Let each inhale carry presence and each exhale acceptance. In that sacred pause, you might glimpse something longing to be known. You're safe to be your own witness, even when it hurts. Beware. The attachment disguised as love, the trap of I just want them to be well. It feels noble to wish someone happiness, yet often that compassion wears a disguise. When you say, I only want what's best for them, ask, is there an unspoken plea for recognition? Your heart may cloak neediness under the banner of love, wanting validation dressed as care. That subtle request binds you energetically to someone who may no longer want to stay. The frequency of gratitude rewrites reality. In many spiritual traditions, altruism is rooted in projection, not freedom. You might be holding on to the hope. If they heal, my pain will ease. But that debt-based love absorbs your energy and leaves the other person powerless. The truth, genuine care doesn't hinge on their behavior. It flows freely regardless. You are not alone. The universe listens to you. Reflect. When did your kindness begin feeling heavy? Genuine love uplifts without needing something in return, or a story that validates your worth. Attachment whispers, if they're happy with me, then I matter. Yet that link tightens the cage of emotional dependence. It's not love. It's a mirage of connection designed to soothe your fear of inadequacy. Psychology tells us we often confuse self-worth with others' approval. Neuroscience shows approval lights up dopamine centers, but it's a short-lived high. Over time, chasing that high becomes a loop disguised as compassion. Dr. Joe Dispenza reminds us that real transformation transcends need and honors sovereignty. True love radiates without strings and trusts the flow of individual healing. So, breathe and ask, am I serving them, or am I serving my wounded desire? Let the question echo in your chest and feel your response. If what surfaces is tension, anxiety, or restlessness, you've stumbled into attachment. With curiosity, not guilt, examine what you really want. In that clarity, you might choose a freer, more loving way. Musashi and the Art of Cutting Invisible Bonds, detachment as inner discipline, not emotional coldness. Miyamoto Musashi famously said, "Do not depend on others emotionally. That sounds harsh until you realize he spoke of inner freedom, not emotional numbness. True detachment emerges from self-mastery, an internal sanctuary unshaken by external storms. It's not abandoning emotion. It's training the mind to feel without being hijacked. Your biology responds to your spirituality. Imagine your emotions as a sword, powerful, alive, but needing direction. If someone leaves and you let the sword fall, it cuts into your own flesh. Musashi teaches that discipline doesn't dull emotion. It sharpens it for your own evolution. Detachment becomes armor and clarity, not distance from being real. It's the warrior's art of loving without losing ground. This discipline starts with awareness, noticing when you're tuned into their absence. Feeling grief doesn't break the code. You break the code when grief becomes fear of silence. Musashi's solitude was not loneliness. It was readiness to stand whole. He shows us emotional independence isn't a wall, but a refined presence. You are not broken. You are in transformation. Neuroplasticity proves that with practice, the brain can rewire its response to loss. Thoughts become silent masters or chaotic tyrants, depending what you feed them. Practice presence, and your mind becomes the warrior's dojo, strong, calm, luminous. Detachment isn't refusal. It's empowerment through choice and inner alignment. In losing external anchors, you gain internal sovereignty. So here's a gentle offer. Notice one moment today when you lean into their memory. Pause, let it settle, then ask, is this connection serving me or keeping me bound? Don't force an answer. Feel instead. Invite your presence to hold the emotion without following it. That subtle shift plants the seed of true emotional freedom. The invisible error of vibrating lack, even while loving in silence. Love is a frequency, yet so is lack. And when the energy of love is laced with need, the vibration shifts. You may think you're sending light, but your signal is clouded by silent pleading. This is the paradox. The more we radiate longing, the more we repel what we desire. As Neville Goddard taught, you must embody the end. Feel as if it's already yours. Neediness affirms the absence, not the fulfillment. Every thought wrapped in "I miss them" echoes through your field as a command. They are gone. Even prayers can become affirmations of lack if not rooted in presence and trust. The universe doesn't respond to words, it responds to vibration. You must ask, what energy am I broadcasting beneath my silence? Is it love, or is it emptiness seeking rescue? Quantum physics confirms, observation alters the outcome, but intention defines the field. If you observe with sorrow, the field aligns with sorrow. Greg Braden reminds us that the heart's coherent frequency shapes reality more than thought. Alone. When your silent love stems from gratitude, it becomes magnetic. When it stems from fear, it dissolves into distance. So shift the lens. What if you could love them without mourning their absence? What if the love itself is your wholeness? Not a doorway to validation. Release the vibration of lack, like a bird too long caged inside your ribcage. Let it fly, and in its place plant the stillness of self-sufficiency, not as denial, but as energetic clarity. Try this. Each time you feel that pang of missing, say inwardly, I bless them, and I free myself. Repeat slowly, feeling the words not as mantra, but as truth. Then visualize yourself surrounded by golden light, full, not waiting. This begins to shift the vibrational field from lack to radiance. And what you emanate, you inevitably invite. How dopamine can bind you to someone who's gone, and how to break the cycle. Love, especially unreturned, often feels like withdrawal, not from the person, but from a chemical high. Neurologically, unreciprocated affection triggers the same centers as addiction. Every text, memory, or social media glimpse becomes a hit, small doses of emotional dopamine. Dr. Joe Dispenza explains how these emotional addictions lock us into neurochemical loops. It's not just heartbreak, it's biochemical craving. Your Brain remembers pleasure, not pain, and confuses longing for connection. The deeper the wound, the stronger the reinforcement to seek just one more dose. This is why detachment feels like detox, cold, restless, and filled with longing. Understanding this is liberating. You're not weak, you're rewiring, and you can choose to step out of the loop. Interrupting the cycle begins with awareness. When the craving arises, name it. This is my brain seeking dopamine, not love. That simple reframe disempowers the illusion. Next, shift focus. Do something novel, unfamiliar, and joyful. New experiences create new neural pathways and reduce dependence. Neuroplasticity thrives on repetition and emotion. Pairing new experiences with elevated feelings accelerates healing. Listen to music that lifts you, walk in nature, move your body, or create something with your hands. These become your new emotional signatures, rewriting your internal chemistry. You're not escaping the person, you're reclaiming your brain. And so the next time you ache for them, breathe and say, I don't need this to survive. You're not denying the love, you're dissolving the dependency. This is emotional sobriety, and it's sacred. Over time, what once pulled you like gravity will lose its hold. You become whole again, not by forgetting, but by releasing the loop. A 3-step exercise to reclaim your frequency after heartbreak. Healing begins when energy returns to the self. This practice is not about forgetting, but realigning. Inspired by neuroplasticity and symbolic reprogramming, this exercise works with heart, body, and mind. It doesn't reject your love, it sanctifies it and brings it home. Take this as a ritual, not a task, a sacred reconnection. Your frequency is not broken, it's just entangled. Step 1. The breath of recollection close. Your eyes and visualize the person. Let your breath slow and deepen. On each inhale, whisper inwardly, I call back my energy. On each exhale, imagine light returning from them to your body. Repeat gently, with reverence, for 2 to 3 minutes. Step 2. Symbolic release picture. A string between your heart and theirs, delicate, glowing, but tense. In your mind's eye, take a small golden scissors and cut the string with love, not anger. Say silently, I release you with grace. Feel the relief, not of disconnection, but of completion. This step honors the bond while freeing the weight. Step 3. Grounded reaffirmation. Place your hands on your chest. Say, I am whole, I am enough, I am love. Repeat until the words feel less like affirmations and more like truth. Feel warmth where once there was longing. This practice trains your brain to associate presence with peace, not pain. Do it daily, especially when the ache resurfaces. Why we suffer more from the image we created than the person themselves. Often, the grief we carry is not for the person, but the version we created of them. The mind builds myths of what they could have been, of the love that almost was. When that illusion shatters, it cuts deeper than the breakup itself. It's not just a heartache, it's the death of a dream we lived in silently. You didn't lose them. You lost the story you told yourself about them. This inner theater plays on loops. Memories altered by hope. Scenes edited by longing. And like any good story, it feels real. Until presence reminds us it was fiction. We suffer not because they changed, but because the script no longer fits reality. Neville Goddard taught that imagination creates worlds, but also illusions. We must learn when to close the curtain. The pain isn't failure, it's feedback. It tells you where you were investing life in something that no longer returns it. By recognizing the image from the individual, you regain clarity. They are not your pain, your projection is. And what was imagined can be reimagined into truth. Rewriting. That internal myth doesn't mean forgetting. It means honoring the love while releasing the fantasy. Ask, What did this version of them teach me about my needs, hopes, and beliefs? That insight becomes your compass forward. You walk away, not from them, but from the illusion. Next time you miss them, whisper, "I honor what I imagined," and "I now choose what is." Feel the ground beneath you, not the story behind you. You don't have to be angry to move on, only honest. And honesty is the gateway to true emotional liberation, because peace lives in what's real, not what's remembered. The sword that cuts illusion, what Musashi teaches about presence without attachment. Presence is not clinging. Presence is being fully here, without grasping at tomorrow. Musashi lived with stillness and movement, eyes on the moment, heart unattached. He reminds us that to be truly with someone is to be free in their company, not bound. Attachment demands permanence. Presence offers impermanence with grace, and therein lies the peace of a spiritual warrior. When you hold someone too tightly, you lose sight of their soul. You stop witnessing and begin needing. Musashi's silence was a stance, not of withdrawal, but of deep witnessing. To love someone without holding them hostage in your heart is mastery. And it takes inner training, like a blade being sharpened in solitude. Imagine love like a candle, beautiful when held lightly, but painful when gripped. Attachment burns, while presence illuminates. To walk with someone, even briefly, in true presence, leaves no scars. But to walk dragging their shadow behind you, this is suffering. Presence allows the memory to be light, not a chain. In quantum terms, attachment collapses possibilities into fixation. Letting go expands your field of creation. Greg Braden speaks of coherence, aligning heart and brain in truth. Presence does this effortlessly. It's not cold, it's conscious. So today, observe. Are you holding on to their presence or to your fear of their absence? Let that question linger in the silence, not to shame you, but to free you. And in that freedom, presence returns. Musashi's sword never cut people, it cut illusion. The sword and the flower. How to unite inner strength with true love without breaking. A flower bends in the wind, but never begs. A sword stands strong, but never strikes without cause. These are your symbols, gentle love and firm boundaries. To love truly, you must hold both in balance. One softens the soul, the other guards it. This is not contradiction, it is harmony. The flower teaches you to feel. The sword teaches you to stay rooted. When love overflows without structure, it becomes sacrifice. When strength hardens without feeling, it becomes isolation. You are meant to embody both, like a tree with deep roots and open petals. Bruce Lipton reminds us that our environment, including emotional, shapes our biology. Your inner terrain must support both vulnerability and clarity. Loving someone doesn't mean collapsing when they leave. It means standing tall, even when your heart aches. You are the field where flower and blade coexist. In spiritual maturity, you don't choose between the heart and the spine. You cultivate both. You speak gently, but don't shrink. You love deeply, but don't disappear. This is sacred balance, the essence of embodied wisdom. Try this visualization. See yourself holding a sword in one hand, a flower in the other. Feel their weight. One grounds, the other uplifts. Now imagine walking forward, not chasing love, but radiating it. This is how you love without breaking. Firm, soft, whole. Emotional freedom is the greatest act of love. When you let go, you liberate. Both. Love is not possession, it's expansion. When you release someone not from resentment, but from reverence, healing begins. Energetically, the cord cuts both ways. While you hold them in your ache, they too remain bound in the unseen. To let go is to love beyond ego. Emotional freedom doesn't erase the bond, it sanctifies it. It says, "You mattered, and I return you to the flow of life." This is not detachment, it is divine release. It is trusting that love, once lived, is eternal, even if no longer embodied. It is believing that both souls deserve peace. Neville Goddard spoke of assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. So assume this: they are well, you are well, and even in parting, love has fulfilled its purpose. This vibration invites peace, not pain. Because what is released in love never truly leaves. Letting go creates space for joy, for growth, for new love, or deeper self-love. Tom Campbell reminds us that consciousness evolves through choice. By choosing release, you choose evolution. You move from need to nourishment, from longing to liberation. So close your eyes now and say softly, I love you. I set you free. I am free. Let those words echo within without resistance. You're not abandoning the love. You're allowing it to become light. And in that light, you walk forward, not empty, but luminous. Because freedom is the highest form of love.